let's go through a simplified workflow of printing one of my images so that you can get just the general basics of how to print from Lightroom. So from the grid module, I'm going to select an image. I'm going to hit D to go into the develop module. And once your image is processed to your liking, the next step is to soft proof the image. And this will simulate the way the image will look when printed on a specific paper using a specific ICC profile. And this will give you a better sense of how the image is going to change. If it changes at all, it'll also allow you to set the rendering intent for the print process. And so let's talk about that next. So I'm going to hit S for soft proof, and then Y, which brings up a comparison view. And the image on the left is our original image, and the one on the right is the one that has a paper profile applied to it. When you go into the soft proof mode, you'll get this new window here on the right hand side, and here you'll be able to choose the ICC profile for the paper that you want to use. I want to print this image onto Canson Infinity Rag Photographique, and so I'm going to click on this drop down next to profile and choose the profile that matches that paper. And once again, these profiles have been downloaded from the Canson Infinity website. They all have the same naming convention, so they all start with CIFA for Canson Infinity Fine Art, P800 for the printer that I want to print on, my Epson P800, and then Rag Photographique 310 for the paper type. So I select that profile. And once I select that profile, and also make sure, again, that Simulate Paper and Ink here is checked. Once I select that profile, then the right side of my display will change to simulate what that image is going to look like based on the paper that I've chosen, which again is based on the profile. The rendering intent, which I can choose here below, either perceptual or relative, basically allows you to control how the image is compressed or how the colors are mapped from the larger gamut of the original image to the smaller gamut of the paper that I've chosen. So the colors have to go from, once again, a larger gamut or a larger color space in essence to a smaller color gamut. And the way those colors are compressed and moved from one gamut to the other is controlled through our rendering intent. And there are basically two that are used, perceptual and relative, and it's simply a matter of visually seeing which one matches the original image better. There is no real formula or necessarily a right or a wrong one. It's just simply verifying or comparing the left and right. So as an example here, I'm going to choose perceptual, and you can see how the right side changes. I'll choose relative, and to my eye, the relative rendering intent matches my original a little bit better than the perceptual, so I'm going to go with relative as my rendering intent for this print only. Every time you print an image and the image is, obviously different, then you have to go through the same process and choose the best rendering intent. Also, if I want to apply any adjustments to this image for printing using this profile and this paper, I can do so as well. And if I go ahead and make a change here, for example, I like to typically apply a little bit more clarity to my prints or to my images when I'm going to print them. So if I add a little bit more clarity here, Lightroom will ask you if you want to create a proof copy. And I'm going to click on yes. And now this creates, in essence, a virtual copy, a proof copy of this image that is specifically adjusted to print on Rag Photographique. And if I jump back to the library module, you can see in my grid that now I have the virtual copy here, and this is my proof copy for printing on this paper. And you can see that Lightroom has even named it with the profile that I used, which again is CIFA P800 Rag Photo. So I remember now, or I'll be able to remember that this virtual copy is specifically for printing on this paper.